Welcome to the Uncensored Society podcast, where guests share their insights, experiences, and tactics to help you accelerate your business. So building, scaling, and monetizing your business is made easier. And now, your host, Kay Suthar.
Guys, welcome to another episode of Uncensored Society podcast. My name is Kay Suthar, and do I have an amazing guest for you today? Oh my goodness. So with over a decade of experience in her industry, Stephanie saw a huge need for SEO services. So she decided to create a company solely for SEO. She has led successful campaigns in numerous industries, including, but not limiting to, health and wellness, SaaS, e-commerce, food and beverage, travel, and entertainment. Passionate about her work, Stephanie credits her success to dedication, drive, and perseverance. Please welcome Stephanie Long, owner and founder of Stephanie Marie Marketing. Oh my goodness, Stephanie, thanks for coming on to the show.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. I can't wait to talk about my business and how I got started and to help other women that want to get started or are nervous or anxious about it.
Do you know what? When I spoke to you previously, I knew I had to have you on this podcast because SEO is a huge thing when it comes to marketing. But I feel like not many people know much about it, right?
No.
And so we really need to kind of get into the nitty-gritty of things today to really find out why it's important to get SEO on track. But before we get into all that good stuff, I would love for you to explain to our listeners today, what you were doing before you stepped into this business and why did you decide to go into the SEO business?
Yeah, so actually in college, I got an internship in SEO. I didn't know anything about SEO, and I was just kind of ad hocing things. And then because of that, my first job out of college was doing SEO. That's all, because I had that experience. And I still didn't really know what I was doing. And I decided I wanted to move into marketing. So I went to the marketing umbrella, but then I thought SEO really is a huge thing. So while I was doing all these marketing jobs, I was actually really trying to hone my skills in SEO. I was taking courses. I was reading all the blogs. I took online courses to just get myself better about it. So that was throughout the years what I always wanted to specialize in when I was in a marketing role, and I always brought it back to it. So right before I did this business, I did digital media. So I wrote all the ad copy, but writing ad copy, you want to bring in keywords. So SEO has always been very helpful to me in doing that. At the height of the pandemic, I was unfortunately laid off, and I decided I need to do something that I love. This was a time for reflection. I think many people thought that, as sad as it was.
Yeah.
I got to do something. So I thought I want to do one thing and really good. So while I can do other things in the marketing umbrella, I just want to focus on SEO and get really good at it. And so I just built my business from scratch. All of my clients have been referrals so far. I didn't have a website.
Wow.
Well, I'd actually been freelancing.
Whoa. Wait, you didn't have a website?
Not until I built my business. No, I'd been freelancing. And so everything was word of mouth, and no one actually cared that I had a website. They just trusted their... Yes. So I was like, okay, it's time. I got to get a website. So I am not a developer, but I did build my own website. And that was really scary. I will give this tip. You just got to get it out there. It will not be perfect. And it definitely was not perfect, but I make updates to it constantly. So I just want to focus solely on SEO. And that's all I want to do is really help clients hone in on their SEO needs, because you know what? Not a lot of people are optimized, and I can go in and see that. So anyone can see that. And also it's a good and bad thing, right? Because if you are optimized, your competitors can go and see your keywords, and you vice versa can go see their keywords, but it doesn't matter. You still need to have your website optimized.
Right. So, and I think there's that, there's, I guess the thing that with SEO, unless you really know how it works, you don't know what you're looking for, right? And so people are so busy, using other sources of marketing. Oh, I've got to get out on stages. I've got to get on a podcast, on things that they can actually see in front of them, and not realizing how much goes into SEO, why it's really needed, because no one actually sees that, right? And so we're going to go into a little bit more about that and how SEO is connected to websites. So I don't think that people know much about why it's connected to how it all works. But a little birdie told me, Stephanie, that you have a unique ability, right, to network to anybody, no matter who they are, what the background is. So tell us a little bit about what that means.
So I am not afraid to talk to anyone. I get more doors shut in my face than not. I think that's another thing you need to realize as a business owner. You got to get over that. So what I actually do is I go onto LinkedIn. I find people that are looking for SEO, a full-time SEO expert. I go to their website. I see that it's not optimized. I reach out to who I think possibly is the person hiring for the role, whether it's maybe the CEO, marketing lead, or whatever. And then I do a screen grab and show them their website's not optimized, hoping that my little presentation would make them want to hire me, since I know they're looking for full-time, but maybe they want to start with a contractor and see what can happen.
Right.
So I will go out and just tell them what I do. I will show them where they need to optimize and just have a discussion from there if they get back to me. And so I noticed that when I would just reach out and say, hey, your website's not optimized, that didn't work. But when I actually showed them why and how, you're always evolving in your business. That's actually really gotten me new clients.
Amazing.
Because I'm going out there and making that effort to show them, well, you're not optimized here, and this is what I would do. And actually, I think these are your competitors and they're optimized.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So you mentioned earlier that you go in the background, you check out their websites and stuff. Is it specialized software you need to do all of that? Or can anybody have a look at their optimization keywords and their competitors?
As long as you know how to go into the source code, you right click a website and you go into the source code, anyone can see what keyword you're optimizing for.
Right.
So that is a fallback, but don't let that deter you. Because,
I see.
People are always spying on their competitors in one way or another. So
yes, it's always good to know what your competitors are doing, right?
Exactly.
And kind of, if it works, then why not follow your competitors and do exactly what they do? And it's funny because I've always said that in school they call copying plagiarism, but in business they call it success. Right.
Right. I heard that term, but that makes 100% sense. Totally.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. And so, first of all, explain to people that don't know and that listen to this, what does SEO stand for and what does it actually do for your business?
Sure. So SEO stands for search engine optimization. And that also means SERP results. So SERP is, I'm going to refer to Google and everything. I do know people optimize for Bing and Firefox. Personally, I think those are dying. So everything I'm referring to will be Chrome, Google's. To gives a heads up. So SERP, that's the search engine results page. So when you get Google, so I'll use mine as an example, Stephanie Marie Marketing. I just Googled into the SERP, the search engine results page, that little bar you can search for.
Right.
So that is what I help people optimize for. So if you're looking for beverage companies near me, you want your searches, your company to be in that search. And ideally, the top 3, because people do not generally search beyond the fold. So the fold of a website, right, is where it stops. Yeah. People usually never go beyond it. So being on the first page in general is good. That's great, right? But you want to be up in the top 3.
Right.
And because people are just not going to scroll through. And if you're on the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, whatever page, you're screwed. No one's going to go there.
Right. I know I don't bother. I look at the first screen. Yeah. But I might scroll down, but it is like wherever's at the top. Yes. Clearly, that to me, whatever I'm searching for are the go-to companies. That's why they're at the top.
Yes, and Google knows this, that they're the go-to because they have optimized and written their content specifically for these keywords. And they know that when people click on this website, it is going to get them the exact results they need. So Google is so focused. And because if you start Googling, let's say food beverages near me, and you're in Seattle, but you get something in Oklahoma, people are going to bounce out, and Google's going to say, oh, this website, they're doing something shady, so we're pushing them way down. So it's very, very focused, especially this year. Your keywords and your content have to be almost identical to what people are searching for.
Okay, so
very important.
Once you're optimized, and again, this is for our listeners, how do they know whether they're optimized or if they're optimized well enough?
Well, so what I do is, again, it's organic, so this is not paid. So when anything is not paid, it takes a while.
Right.
I always tell my clients it's about a 3-month process.
Okay.
We pick about 10 to 15 keywords you want to rank for. So that's how we start. And we can decide throughout if we need to move them. But I like to keep with those 10 to 15 for 3 months to see if these really are the keywords people are searching for that you think they're using to get to your business.
Right.
So that's how I determine if it's being I need 3 months to know, right? So you're not going to number one in 1 month, 2 months, 3 months is when I expect to be on the first page. So then from there, let's say you're at 10, number 10, that's at the bottom. That's great because we're going to move you up. So that's when you start seeing results, right? After 3 months, and we have the right keywords honed in. And there's always changes after 3 months. I'll say, I don't think these are good ones, but I use several tools. Like there's Moz, SEMrush. And so I can track all of that and let people know where we're at. And SEO also, it's really holistic. It also comes into, does your website load fast enough? Because people bounce out. Even though you have a good keyword, it's not loading fast enough, they're gone. So I have to work with developers a lot to make sure the website loads fast enough. The images are compressed, because if you have large images, that's going to take the website a really long time to load. So you need help on the developer end to make sure everything's cohesively working.
It sounds like there's a lot involved in this apart from just keywords, right? So we need to look at the speed of the website, the keywords. What other aspects need to be looked at when we're looking at SEO?
So you mean from like a holistic, everyone I need to work with?
Yes. I mean, so if a client comes to you and says, all right, I want to, get better at SEO, but I have no idea what I'm doing or what's involved, what other things would the client need to know that's kind of involved in the SEO and actually raising that to a better score?
Thank you for clarifying. So I run an audit. I have an audit. It's about a 12-page audit.
Oh, wow.
I need access to all their backends. Some people don't even have Google Analytics set up. So we need to get Google Analytics connected. So I run an audit, and this is where it shows all that. Your website's loading really slow. Domain authority, if you're from domain authority, means how high do you rank on a scale of 0 to 100 to Google. So I give a huge, huge list of where, like, for instance, some people may have pages that don't even load. Bad. Pages that are 404, right? Redirecting them to a non-existent page. So this audit goes over everything. And then from there, they can either hire me to implement it, or they can have their developer, or maybe they have an in-house SEO person, but they just needed an outside expert to come in and really give them a good audit on everything. Because I have 3 major tools I use that show all the holistic things that need to be done for SEO.
Wow. And so when you audit, the entire website, all the pages, like how long does that take? Is it a matter of days, hours? What does that look like?
It takes about 4 hours on average.
Okay.
Because I pull a lot of stuff. I get really, really nitty gritty, because I also look at your competitors and see what they're ranking for. So before I do the audit, I should step back. I do ask for those 10 to 15 keywords to see where competitors are ranking. Or if they're not even using any of those, they're using other keywords I need to let you know about. So I do ask a few questions to get started, and then that helps me get the document together for them to show. And then I'll walk them through it and explain
Right. Now that sounds really interesting to me, because I'm just thinking, when you're looking into competitors, right? And say you got one competitor that's kind of, doing so well, are you able to go in and find out their keywords and then take their keywords and use it for your website? Is that how it really works, or is it a lot more involved than that?
Well, so yes, I can go see their keywords, but maybe that's not exactly what the company wants to rank for. So
Okay.
I wouldn't necessarily go just copy and paste. I would make sure that, one, is this a good keyword you think your customers are looking for? And if it is, I would riff off of that and find something different, right? Because then you're gonna be competing with them,
Right.
and also they've been probably ranking for this more than you. So you want to make sure you're not competing against a rank score that's already high, right? So you'll want to find a different keyword that's similar, maybe, if you like that keyword that's similar. And if that's a really hot topic that they're ranking for, then you might want to write a blog post or a page on that. And blogging also, that's separate, but that's very important for SEO.
Yes. Right. Okay. So let's talk about that for a little while, right? Blogging. Yeah. Now, do you need to be an immaculate writer to start blogging? Or is it, if you're not a writer, would you suggest then just hiring that out?
Yes. So I even myself hire a ghostwriter. I don't have time. I would hire that out. I would have 2 to 3 keywords that you really want to target in that blog to make sure that works. I recommend blogging once a week, but very important. Google places very high authority on websites that are constantly updating and evolving. Because if it's just static, what good is that to anyone? You don't have anything fresh and new to share.
So they want to make sure that you are keeping update with all your information on there. You're active and constantly kind of producing content, right? Okay. And so how long should these blogs be? Because I know some people can write and write and write. It's like a book.
No way. No, do that. 400 to 600 words. 400 is what I give that range, because sometimes people, need to go over a little bit, but I like to stick at 400. No one's going to read that. And what I like is it shows how long. So on my website, you'll see, oh, it's a 2-minute read. It's a 5-minute read.
Right.
So it gives people the option to go, because if you don't say that and it's like a 20-minute read, they're going to bounce off. So you want to make it as simple and easy for your user as possible. Okay. And you want them to stay on your site. So for instance, in the blogs, you'll also want to do internal linkings. And so you'll want to link to other websites that are similar in the sense that they don't sell the same product, but maybe they talk about the products. Maybe it's like CNN, MSNBC. So something like that has a high domain authority, like I mentioned. Don't just link to your neighborhood blog. That's going to do nothing for you.
Right.
So linking to those high domain authority sites are very important. And the other thing that I need to stress that clients do is when you link, make sure the link opens in another tab, because you never want them to leave your website. So if they click on the link and you just go to that website, they've left.
Right.
And the likelihood is they probably won't come back, because then they'll find something else on that new website and keep going there. Do not. Anything you can do to keep them on the website is extremely important.
Okay. So that's all really interesting. I want to just kind of take a couple of steps back. You mentioned, sticking to about 400 words for each blog, and they should be going out at least once a week. Is that correct?
100%. Yeah? That's what I do.
Okay. All right. So, I mean, if people want to do more, they can. That's not going to hurt, right? Or will that hurt?
No. Just be consistent and do it on the same day. I do it on Tuesdays every day, because if you have people that are coming back, they know every Tuesday you're going to have a fresh blog. So
that's consistent. Yeah. And I guess that's with everything that you do when it comes to marketing. You're going to be consistent, whether you do, videos, podcasts, right? Absolutely. Everything needs to be consistent. Okay, that's cool to know. And so, all right, so you got the SEO, you got keywords, you got blogs in there, your website. What else is involved to help you get higher scoring?
Very important in 2022 is optimizing for video to search. voice search. Sorry, excuse me, voice search. So make sure your website is optimized for voice search. 100%. So for instance, on a YouTube video, make sure you have the captions. Make sure you have it accessible to people on your website. That is going to be super important to Google this year.
Okay, so voice search. So what that means is to make sure that all your videos got captions, right? So captions, not subtitles. Is there a difference?
Yeah, subtitles, captions, you can call them the same thing. I just call them captions. And then, for instance, on your blogs, you can have people be able to listen to them. So I have a client, you can play it. Yes. So very important. You can play the blog.
Okay. So would that just be audio or would that be a video as well?
Just audio right now.
Yeah.
It's just, they haven't really come out with the video part, but audio is going to be very important.
Interesting. So you can just talk through whatever's written down on the blog, make sure you have an audio version, and then add that to your website as well. So they have a choice of either reading or listening to the blog.
Exactly. So, and there's several websites out that you can load your blog into, and somebody will be, just be a generic person reading it, but very important.
And so that's something that you can outsource as well. You don't necessarily have to be the person to read it out in the voice recording.
No, just find a website. I don't have any in particular that is better than the other. There's several out there. You can just upload your blog and you'll have somebody reading it.
Awesome. And you also mentioned in a blog, you only need about 3 keywords.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought there would need to be a lot more than that, especially if there's like 400 words. I thought you got to constantly have keywords in there.
No, well, that would be keyword stuffing. So you want to take 3 good keywords and then don't use them all. Don't just keep saying them. Repeat them each 2 to 3 times. So just have them sprinkled throughout and make sure the one keyword you really want to rank for is in your title, because that is what Google puts most emphasis on, is a title. Yeah. And then don't forget about your alt tags. So alt tags are your image tags. So people can search. You can be found by images. So don't forget about that. People could find an image that you use for your blog and click on it and get to your blog. So don't forget about that as well.
Do you know what? There is so much involved in SEO.
It really is. It really is.
Wow. It's a huge area. I mean, marketing is massive anyway, but SEO, oh my God, it is a big topic for sure. Now, and this is why people need to hire you. Right. Yeah. So you can do it all for them, because trying to learn all of this yourself and doing it all, it's going to drive you mad. It's going to be complete nutty. Right. And so this is why people need to come to you and contact you and get you to do it for them. And we're going to get into that a little bit later on, where people can contact you. But at the moment, I mean, are you able to teach a principle that the audience can relate to and implement in their business right now?
I mean, let's see. I think what you should really work on is what is your top product that you really want to push? Because again, the navigation bar you see on every website, that is extremely important to Google too. So let's say you're a beverage company and diet soda is what really sells. Make sure diet soda is at that top link so people click on that. Right there. It's right there. People don't have to worry about it and search for it. So if there's a product you really want to push, make sure it's right there, really easy for customers. And that's so easy to go in and change a navigation bar. Any developer could do that for you. So make sure whatever, and highlight that, have maybe a carousel on your website to highlight it, but make sure it's front and center and easy for your customer to find.
Interesting. All right. And so would you be able to tell us, Stephanie, maybe some of your recent success stories you've had with your clients?
Yeah. So a client actually is now having me do paid search as well. I do not advertise that. I just love to do SEO, but if somebody's asking me to do another service, I will. So I had been working for them for about 6 months now. And they, again, 3 months, for 3 months, we tracked their keywords. and they're getting so much business that I've already paid for myself. And now they have me doing paid search. So that's another thing I really recommend is paid search along with organic. So not only will you come up in the organic results, but you will also come up in those where you see the ads served.
Right.
You'll be in those results. But they were a social media AI platform.
Right.
And very, very small, not known. And they have gotten clients now outside of the US. And my benefit, my salary has already, like, it's way undershadowed how much they've already made by me really targeting. They really didn't know what they didn't know. And I've really helped them hone in on what keywords people are actually searching for to get there. So that's really important, because just because you think these are the keywords people want, that's not necessarily true.
Right, exactly.
So, and that's hard sometimes to tell owners, because this is what they think. But I have the facts, the data to show. So that's always really important to show.
Yeah, and numbers don't lie, right?
Exactly. So you show them that, and that generally appeases them that they need to change their idea on what people are searching for to get to them.
Right, exactly. So Stephanie, I think at this point people are like, oh my goodness, I need to know more about SEO. People don't have a clue how to do it. They don't want to learn how to do it, and so they want to contact you. So where can they go if they want to get in contact with you and learn more about SEO?
So you can go to my website. That's www.stephaniemariemarketing.com. So will you have a link, or do you want me to go ahead and spell that out?
So everything that you mentioned here, all the links will be down below in the show notes. So if anyone kind of misses it, all they have to do is scroll down and they'll be able to pick all those things up.
And it's me. So when you hit the contact button, you will be getting me as a response. I am the one that helps all the clients. You will always be working with me. I also am on Instagram at Stephanie Marie Marketing as well. And I do almost every day, I give an SEO tip. So it'll be great to follow and learn SEO tips along the way.
Definitely. Amazing. Thank you for coming on the show, Stephanie. Yeah. This has been a really interesting one. There's so much detail, so much you've gone into depth with. There's so many things you probably, that's kind of people are now thinking about. They didn't realize how much actually goes into SEO. So thanks again for coming on the show and giving so many golden nuggets.
Yeah. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thanks for listening to the Uncensored Society podcast at www.uncensoredsocietypodcast.com. Make sure you hit that subscribe button so you can get this and every other episode that's coming out. We have lots of great stuff coming, so make sure you hit subscribe so you don't miss it. And thank you in advance for all the reviews and comments. I appreciate it so much, and I look forward to serving you in next week's episode.